right, so we need to finish up the notes on rational equations. Ms. Abruzzo said if we skip that word problem at the bottom of the page, we should, or she suggested we do skip the bottom word problem at the bottom of 11, just so we have more time to review for the quiz, okay? We can maybe use it for a warm-up on Monday. All right, so this is number 3 on 11B. We'll see if my tablet is working. Okay. Maybe it's working now. All right, so, ooh, this is kind of icky. Does anybody know if we factor this, we have a y minus 2 and a y plus 2? But this is not the same as a y minus 2, right? And I'd really like for the common denominator to be y plus 2 and y minus 2. That would go much nicer. Anybody know what's happening here? Yeah. But what could we do to it to make it y minus 2? Yeah, take out a negative 1 would work, but can't we multiply top and bottom by anything we want? And if we multiply the bottom by negative 1 real quick here, and the top, we'll have 2 over a y plus 2. What happens here? Minus a negative y. Minus a negative y. Minus a negative becomes what? Positive 1y. And now down here, this becomes a negative 2 plus y, which is the same as, there we go. And on the other side, we have a y squared plus 4. And down here is a y minus 2 and a y plus 2 if we factored it. All right, so the common denominator is y minus 2, y plus 2. So that's what we're going to multiply by each term here. Oh yeah, I have lots of room to write that in here. What is the shorter way?
Because don't they cancel out if they have the bottom?
Yeah, I'm just showing all the work. You don't have to on your notes, that's your call. These two will divide out. These two will divide out. We have a y squared plus 4 on the right. Here only the y minus 2 cancels. And here only the y plus 2 cancels. Can you distribute before I write it down, guys? You distribute that 2 through the y minus 2 back there, you'll get 2y minus 4. And this is a 1y distributed back to a y plus 2. Anybody, does it seem like I did that right? We good? Okay, what's next? Ooh, I'm liking this question. What happens? Yeah, I can subtract a y squared from each side. Gone. What's left on the left-hand side? 4y minus 4 equals 4. Somebody's going to say 0, but what do I actually have to do to get rid of that minus 4? Add it over here, so I get 8. I got y equals 2. Did anyone get that? Are we done? Is that the answer? We got to make sure it doesn't make the denominator 0. Seems like a problem, doesn't it? If you put a 2 back in here, you get 0 right there. You actually also get 0 over here. So if that doesn't work, because y cannot be plus or minus 2 for this question, what's the answer? Yeah, unfortunately, no solution. The only way to really check that on the calculator would be to graph like all of this on y1 and all of this in y2 with a bazillion parentheses and see if they ever intersect, and they're not going to. All right, that was a painful question that had no answer. All right, this would be a good quiz question. Can we just subtract on the top? It says 60 minus 60. No. What is the common denominator? X times the quantity x plus 3, right? You can't make an x and do an x plus 3. Somebody yesterday thought I should add 3 to both of those. No, it's got to be multiplied. All right, so the original question, multiplying each one by both an x and an x plus 3. This x divides out. Can someone distribute for me? Okay, here the whole x plus 3 drops out, so what do I have? And over here, nothing cancels. You know what happens a lot on the quiz is everybody just leaves it equals 1. That's not a good plan, right? Whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other side. So we get x squared plus 3x when we distribute. That's 0, but if I subtract the 180 over here so that it equals 0, I don't know. 20 and 9 doesn't work. 12 and 15? Somebody try 12 and 15. I think that's it. So plus 15 and minus 12. That would have taken a little trial and error. All right. So we get x equals what? Okay. Either one of those go away? What are the restrictions? X can't be 0 or negative 3. Otherwise, these should work, okay? If you go back and check, negative 15, 60 over negative 15 would be negative 4, minus 60 over negative 15 plus 3 would be negative 12, which is 5, negative 5, and then that was minus here, so it's plus 5, equals 1. You want me to try 12 too? 60 over 12 would be 5, minus 60 over 15, which would be 4, equals 1. So that does work. Okay? That one wasn't too bad. All right, last one. What is our messy common denominator here? 4 and x plus 3, right? What are the domain restrictions? X cannot be... Is 4 a domain restriction? No. All right, x plus 3 over x plus 7x over x plus 3 equals 23 over 4 times a 4 and an x and an x plus 3 times a 4 and an x plus 3 times a 4 and an x plus 3. Okay, what divides away? Unfortunately, not as much as we would like, right? The x divides away here, so what do we still have? Don't we have a 4 and an x plus 3 and another x plus 3? Oh, that's a mess. Okay, back here, x plus 3 divides away. That I think I can simplify. What is that, guys? 28x squared. Okay, and over here, only the 4 divides away. So I have a 23x and an x plus 3, which I'll distribute in a second. Okay. What happens when I FOIL x plus 3 times x plus 3? Here you go. Good job. And if I distribute over here, 23x squared plus 69x. Did I multiply that right? All right. Still got to distribute this 4. All right. No crying in pre-calc. We need to subtract this 23x squared over to this side and the 69x so that we have equals 0. All right. There are more than these 2x squareds though, right? There's those two and this one out here. So 28 minus 23 is 5, plus that 4 out there is 9x squared. Anybody else get that? And here 24 minus 69 is negative 45. Ah, and a plus 36. Guess what we can do? Take out a 9. X squared minus 5x plus 4. Now, can 9 equal 0? No, so we can throw that out. It's not going to be one of the zeros. This factors x minus 4 and x minus 1. So we get x equals 4 or 1. What were the restrictions at the beginning? Okay, so we're good? Can I not check them, or do you want me to check them?
We spent enough time on this problem.
Okay. That left the box question, and it talks about surface area of a box. Do you have this one at the bottom? Okay, so we're going to skip the box one. But there is a homework question like this. It says, use the intersection feature to solve this equation. So you're going to get ugly decimals here. How are you going to type this in? Y1 is going to be x to the 4th minus 2x cubed plus 1 divided by x cubed plus 6, and y sub 2 is going to be 8. We just want to see where that mess hits the line 8. All right, someone's going to need to read that to me because I did not put it in yet. Go ahead.
X4 minus 2x cubed plus 1.
Hang on, I messed up already. Plus 1, close parenthesis, divided by, open parenthesis, x cubed plus 6. Close parenthesis, and somewhere I got an 8.
That's going to be a really long equation.
Well,
Yeah.
how many points of intersection? 2. That's it. We need to find those 2 points of intersection. Intersection. I got negative 1.59. Do I need the ordered pair? No, this was an equation. Was there a y anywhere in sight? Nope. So there's one of the answers. Calculate the other intersection. Enter, but then I need to scroll over towards the other for my guess. And when it says intersection, that's the other one I should be writing down. What's happening here? Okay. So I got 2 answers. They were x equals negative 1.594 and 10.046 if I went 3 places. Oh my goodness, that was a bad idea. I'll just leave it a comma, okay? Just going to try to make it an and symbol. Yes. When it says guess on your screen, you have to scroll over to where the other one is. If you just keep hitting enter, it'll stay at the same one. So you go second, trace, intersect, go ahead and hit first curve, second curve, that's fine. But if I want to find the other one, when it says guess down here, then I need to scroll over and hit guess when it's on the second one. Yep. Even if it's close, it's just got to be closer to the second one than the other one, whichever. Did you get it to work now? Oh, okay. Is this one? Yeah. It does have to be in your window, guys. If it's cut off the edge of your window, it won't work. I didn't realize that was an issue. Any questions? All right, so the assignment you need to work on this weekend, if not before, is this one. Okay. Whoop. It is 33, 34, 37, 39, 40, 41, and 51 on page 138. Solving equations, and there's a couple at the end where you, or at least one at the end where you do the graphing thing on the calculator, okay? I don't know if there's a word problem with a box. I don't think there is, but be sure you ask me next week if there is, and we'll make sure we do it. All right, the rest of the hour is about review. Questions? Why is that? Okay, I need to do this. Questions? Nobody has questions? I'm done for the day. I told you, gotta have questions on the review or I'm not doing them. No one has any questions. You know how to do all of this. You're good for the quiz. This right here that I have on the screen? Okay. What is the first thing it's doing on this one?
Moving over to the left,
Nope.
right? Up, down.
Yeah, one of those choices was right. It is up 3, but is that the first thing?
Oh, no, it's flipping.
No, it's reflecting and then moving up 3. I'm going to draw it reflected over here. It's not sketching well for me. This point would reflect down here. This point would reflect up here. And this point would stay right there. So there's the reflected version. Now what am I supposed to do to it? Move it up 3. And I don't care if you have to draw it twice on your paper. Are you doing all right so far?
We're surviving.
It's only 1 over and all the way up to the top, right? But then it's 2 over and up at 3. All right. There we go. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, what's going on the second one?
Being stretched somewhere.
Shrinking. Being shrunken.
Inside is changing x values, and it's the opposite of what it seems. So it's being shrunk or pinched or compressed horizontally by 2 or by 1/2 if it helps you think of it. So all of the what values change? X's. So this was -4, 1. So the x changes to what? -2, but it's still 1. All right, this was -1, 1. What's half of -1? -1/2, 1, right there. Okay, this one was 1, 3. 1/2, 3. The y's are not changing. This was 2, -3. So it's now 1, -3, because half of 2 is 1. And this was 4, 0. Half of 4 is 2. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to draw this very well. It's pinched in. Everything is half as long across. But it's the exact same height as it was, up and down. You don't get a graphing calculator tomorrow, remember. All right. Any of these you need to do? Apparently some of you, because you just told me all the wrong things on the last ones. This one is what order, guys? If I put a number in for f of x, like 7, it would say this. You would multiply, then add, and then take the opposite, right? So that's what you're doing. What is the multiplication? It's outside of the function, so it's a vertical stretch by 2. Okay, then what? Nope. It's not inside the parenthesis of the function, so it's up 5. This one is over, or this is left. Okay? Then it's reflect over x. And then up 8 for that one. All right, this one is up 5, and the last thing is the outside, and what is a negative on the whole thing on the outside, not inside? Yeah, reflect over x. What if I wanted to reflect over y? Is any of these reflected over y? Yes, this one is. This is reflect over y, and then what? Then up 2, and the order is important. Last one.
Horizontal stretch in the x.
Opposite of what it seems when it's inside. So it's a horizontal compression or shrink. And I don't care if you say by 4 or by 1/4. It's either dividing by 4 or multiplying by 1/4. I would say 1/4, but as long as you use the word shrunk or compression, squish, and then the 3 on the back is up 3. What else? Yes. This one? Okay. This was on the last quiz, guys. Do you remember the concept? We did it again this week. If 11i is a 0, what else has to be a 0? That's why there's a dot, dot, dot. Okay, so we have negative 5, 4, 11i, and negative 11i. Okay, if you write those as factors, they become what?
X plus 5, x minus 4, and then x.
Are we done? Because it says we have to have real coefficients. So we got to FOIL those two together. The rest of them, it says we can leave in factored form. What is that FOIL together to become? What's minus 121i squared become? Positive 121. It's not 11 though, right guys? Because it was 11 times 11. Because a lot of people did that on the last quiz. What else?
Wait, was it?
Okay, write the end behavior function. Is this equal weight, top heavy, bottom heavy? It is top heavy. And what is the rule for top heavy? No horizontal asymptote. Is that what you're going to write? No. What do you have to do? You have to divide. What can we do for this question? Synthetic, right? Because it just has... So what goes in the box? Okay, be very careful. What goes across the top? 1 for an x cubed, negative 5 for an x squared, 0 for an x, and then 2. Some of you still struggle with this. Bring down, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Did anyone else get those numbers? Because sometimes I struggle with this. Okay, now what? This is the remainder. We get to do what with the remainder on these? We don't have to write it as a fraction. We get to throw it away. That's what the yellow sheet says, ignoring remainder. What is this end behavior question? This one is a constant. This gets an x, and this gets an x squared. So y equals x squared minus 1x minus 4. I don't know that we've talked much about one that had an end behavior like that. Can anybody read it to me real quick? Let me turn this off. What is it? No. What's the original problem?
X cubed minus 5x squared plus 2 divided by x
Minus 4? Okay. So if I graph that, this is what it looks like. That's an asymptote. There's a vertical asymptote, but there has to be something to the right of that, right? Whenever there's a vertical asymptote, guys. So I'm just going to try a zoom out, I think, a couple times and see what happens. Yep. I think it's way down. I'm guessing. Okay. Okay. There's a zoom fit. Is that what it's called? Zoom 0? Okay. Does it look like a parabola? If you zoom far enough out, it looks like a parabola with some garbage going on here, right? What did we get for the end behavior? X squared minus x minus 4. Guess what? Is that exactly what it looks like, except for some garbage going on in the middle? Okay, we had to zoom way out. The window is like, okay. I don't know that we would have needed to go that high to see it. Okay. But there is something weird going on at 4, right? Because of the divisor of the original function. All right. Anyway, you read the yellow sheet. It says when it's top heavy, you divide, ignoring the remainder. What else? Yeah. Number 9. Okay, how do you put a hole at 5, guys? And it doesn't say where the hole, what the y value has to be, so that's all you have to do. Those both have a hole at 5. What else? Needs a vertical asymptote at x plus 7 in the denominator. Okay, how do we make them different? Yeah. I could put a 2 up there, yes. I could also put an x plus 5 and an x minus 11. Doesn't matter. I could put a 2 if you wanted to. Okay. It doesn't say anything about end behavior. Better? Somebody else had a hand up. Yes. Okay. This is a tricky one, guys. Can you tell if this is even or odd? What does it have to... the degree has to do with the end behavior. What are the ends doing? Aislinn? Okay. When they're going opposite end direction, then what? Okay. It's not an odd function. Remember, it doesn't have symmetry. But it is odd because the end behavior are going opposite ways. Okay, list the zeros for me. negative 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5,
0,
0, and positive 2. Any multiplicities?
y.
How many of you still have trouble with what a bounce is? Do you see that the graph comes down, touches, and bounces back off?
How do you know what multiplicity is?
It's 2.
Always?
Yes. It has to have an even multiplicity, and we don't want to use 4 or 6 because then we're going to get really funky answers at the end. Okay? Yep. It has even multiplicity, or you can say 2, at both what? Negative 5 and 0, because the graph bounces, right? I don't have much room, so it's just right because of the bounce. All right. Now I need you to write the factors very carefully. Negative 5, 0, and 2. Okay, go ahead.
X plus 5 square root of the income. And then
Yeah, you could write minus 0 if you want, doesn't matter. Okay. The point is negative 2 and 720 that we have to put in. So we would have 720 equals K times negative 2 plus 5, quantity squared, times negative 2 minus 0, quantity squared, times negative 2 minus 2, which would be 720 equals K times, this would be 3 squared is 9, everybody good? This would be negative 2 squared is positive 4, yes? And negative 4 back here. Okay, what is 9 times 4 times 4? Negative 144. We're all multiplying, thank goodness, right? No, we just got to divide now, and what do we get? I think it's negative 5, is it? All right. There was an x squared, an x plus 5 squared, and an x minus 2. Did I confuse you because I wrote it in a different order over there? Sorry. You don't have to write it in a different order. I just moved the x squared out front. You could not type it in your calculator to check your answer because you don't get to use the graphing calculator tomorrow. The one on the quiz is not this complicated. I purposefully made a nasty one on the review, okay? It's probably a degree 3 or 4. That's it. This is a degree. What degree is this one? 5, right? Degree 5, because we had multiplicity 2, multiplicity 1, 2, and multiplicity 1. That's 5. Okay. What else? 13, long division. X squared plus 2x minus 5. 4x cubed plus 3x squared minus 5x plus 3. Don't need any placeholders. I don't think this is as long as you think it is, though. We've got to have a what? 4x. Distribute it to all that. Okay, feel free to use a colored pencil or something to change all your signs and add. Because that's where I make a mistake otherwise. One more. X squared to become exactly negative 5x squared would need to multiply by negative 5. Everybody okay? Negative 5x squared minus 10x plus 25. Coming back through and changing signs. This is 25x, isn't it? Minus 22. Lovely. So the remainder is plus 25x minus 22 all over the divisor. This is what always is the denominator, guys. The same thing that was the denominator in the beginning, okay? Did someone else get that? I didn't make a mistake. I think that is what I have on my key, but. Okay, we still have 4 or 5 minutes. You didn't ask much more about this stuff. Or these transformations. Oh, number 3. Can we do number 3? Nervous. I'm nervous. Where is inside and where is outside on that function? Yeah, inside is under here, and outside is back here or in front, right? Okay, just so we're clear. It says shifted 3 to the left. Where does that go? Inside. Left would be actually plus 3. Up 4. Outside. Plus 4, because it's outside, it's not the opposite of what it seems. All right. Now we got to find the stretch or flip or both. What letter do you want me to use? Use K? I think we used A a lot of times of these, but it totally doesn't matter. Now what are we putting in? Negative 12 equals cubed root of 5 plus 3. With a plus 4 on the back. Okay, if your cube root doesn't come out nice, you did something wrong, because I did not give you one that's nasty, okay? What is 5 plus 3? And the cubed root of 8 is 2. Now, do we add the 4 on the back? This is multiply right here, yes? So we have negative 12 equals k times 2 plus 4. So we have to subtract 4.
So K.
I got k equals negative 8. Did anyone else get that? Negative 8 cubed roots of x plus 3 with a plus 4 on the outside. And those of you who've messed around and played with the calculators every time you did this to try to get those right, good luck. Yes? No homework check due tomorrow. Relax. No homework check due tomorrow because 3 of the 4 sections are old, okay? The 2 things that I would suggest you have done for tomorrow would be the first assignment on page 138, okay? And possibly worksheet 10. Those are the 2. Did you want me to go over anything more? Anybody, what's the difference between these 2? This is the original, so this is a horizontal stretch. The x is multiplied by 2. How do you write horizontal stretch? Yeah. Horizontal is inside, and it's the opposite of what it seems. It says you can write it inwards, but it also says you should do the function notation. On the quiz, it doesn't. It says either one will work. So do the one you're confident of. What about this one? Same x's this time. Y's changed, right? What does a vertical stretch by 2 look like? It was g. Just kidding. The original function was called g. Whatever. All right. You sure you got the zeros, domain range, all that good stuff?
Probably.
How do you find a hole?
where we can't see out.
But how do you find the second part of the hole? You plug it back into the reduced one, right? So this has a hole at -5, but then you have to plug -5 back into this mess, which gives you -21/2. Did I plug that in right? -21/2, I think so. Lovely. All right. Have a good night.